Next up on the bench is a record player. This is a Sonora clear as a bell model S6410. Operate only on AC current at 45 watts. I don't know what that means. This is how it came, had the record in there and everything. So we'll, it's Gary Lewis and the Playboys Hits Again. Must be a greatest hits compilation. That's not really doing what it's supposed to do, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Alright. I'm pretty sure this is a tube. I don't see a power on or off switch, so let's fire it up and see what happens. Okay, so if I go to on, spinning very slowly, so I'm sure, and then it just stopped, and there it's going. Pretty sure it's full of grease. Arm is raising. That just scared me. See if we can give it a little bit of help. Okay. Alright, so I think you get the point. Well, it's kind of speeding up a little bit. Get some of that grease moving around. Never, ever, ever, ever worked on one of these before. It is tube. I can see the tubes. I can smell the tubes. Ugh. The heat coming off. Alright, so I'm not really set up to do anything with tube equipment, tube gear. What I'll do with this is I'm just going to look at the mechanics. It looks like this should just pull out. Made in Great Britain, it says. Press and turn clockwise. Oh, press this and turn clockwise. Oh, press and turn clockwise to do what? To remove, press and turn clockwise. Oh, okay, there we go. Well, maybe. This is exciting, isn't it? Okay. So there's that. There's the big clip. Unplug this. Remove this clip. Hopefully no bearings come shooting out. Now this should maybe pop out. Oh, does this come off now? Nope. Maybe? Oh yeah, it's coming out. Definitely issue with grease. And lubrication here. Yep, it's all, gosh, I can see it in there, it's all nasty. Bearings. I'll pull that out and clean it. Either wheel is actually still rubber, so that's good. So let me grab some alcohol to clean this and lubricate everything. So basically what I'll be doing, swabbing out the inside of this, cleaning off the spindle. Yeah, it's like it's like, it's almost like sticky, like syrup. So clean all this stuff off, pull the bearings out. I may have to remove this to get to them. So, and then we'll maybe take these 2 screws off, look at the tubes. I'm just gonna clean the sockets for the tubes and clean that pot. See what happens. So I'll do that off camera. Come back and we'll scope it out and see how it works. So I just want to show you the grease on here, and look how it's pretty sticky, and it's all over this, and yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to show you how messy this was before I cleaned it up, and then I may just snap a quick after before I put it back in and re-lube everything. I apologize. I told you I was gonna kind of show you the cleaned up underneath, but I got a phone call and I was just working on this as I was talking to the person on the phone, so you can see lots of cleaning, lots of grease, lots of gross, nasty stuff. So mechanically, everything has been re-lubed. So now, I'm going to leave this off just in case. Everything is clipped back into place. Let's see mechanically how this thing works now. Oops. Alright, get this in position. I think that is supposed to go underneath, right? Okay. Alright, so let's see what happens. Spin it nice and fast. May have to run it through a reject cycle first and just make sure it's doing its thing. Oh, I see. I did it wrong. Go figure, right? I did something. Okay. So mechanically, that's a little iffy there, but mechanically it seems to be working. Alright, I don't know about that drop point. I don't even know if that drop point can be adjusted. And I believe this may be locked down with the transport screws. I'm not really sure. I think these might be transport screws. This may sit on springs. I don't know. You know, these portable turntables, they had so many different variations and flavors and all that stuff. So let's put that back for now. Let's look at some controls. Let's see if we can figure out how to get to these controls. I think it's just remove this panel. Yeah, I haven't really branched out into tube gear yet. I've done a little bit of work on tube gear, but I don't have... I have access to like a variac and a tube tester and all that kind of stuff. But what I'll do with this, once that tube cools off a little bit, I will kind of work that tube, clean the socket. The pots I can spray from the top. It looks like I can get to those. So, well, that tube isn't too bad. So when I say clean the sockets on the tube, and again, I'm not a tube guy at all. So, but I know that pop the tube out, and sometimes there's oxidation on the contacts. So if you look at kind of the legs of the tube, it's not real bright there. It's going to be hard to see, but you can see a little bit of oxidation on the contacts. So what I do is take just a little bit of contact cleaner in a cotton swab and just kind of clean it. And then I'll seat the tube and kind of work it up and down and clean. So I clean the post, then I clean the socket. But again, That's about as far into it as I go. I may get to a point where I'm working on tube gear, but it's kind of like FM alignments. I don't do FM alignments, and it's not that I don't want to, it's that I don't want to spend like thousands of dollars on a signal generator. So I'm waiting for a particular model to come up on eBay. They do come up occasionally. There just hasn't been one that's popped up out there for a while. So, so eventually I will. I'll get into that and I'll be able to troubleshoot FM issues, which I've deferred to this point. Maybe I can't get to that pot. I think I have to see if I can get to it from underneath. I don't know if the bottom even comes off of this thing. No, there are no screws on the bottom, so I believe, well, see if we can fix that. That's for the volume control. I think I can remove the screws from the front and maybe back that out. Oh man, that is tight. I couldn't even, I don't know if I could get a socket down there or not. And what I'm trying to get to, let me show you. Oh, this even has a lock. Sweet. What I'm trying to get to are the two screws that hold, never enough room. The two screws that hold where that tube was sitting. Let's see if I can get this out. And oh man. And I don't really have to these aren't in there real tight. I mean, they're not screwed in very far, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I think if I can pop those out, I can back that piece out and get to it. Well, I don't want to waste any more battery, so let me pause this and let's see how far I can get. Okay, as suspected, removing those screws, now I have access to those pots. And I don't know if I'll be able to actually pull this out. This cap, well, I guess if I remove these screws, I'm not sure what these screws even do. I think they're just holding the turntable down. So it doesn't appear that this is a spring. I think I need to move this to get that board out, or that, not board, but these pots out. Gosh, I don't want to disconnect anything. Okay. Pop this up like so. Major surgery. It's seen better days. Okay, so now I can get to these pots and clean them. Boy, those capacitors. Pretty sketchy. So what I want to do with this, I want to flush it with my WD-40 contact cleaner. And not WD-40, it's WD-40 contact cleaner. And then I want to hit it with some fader lube. Sometimes these capacitors are date stamped. I don't see a date stamp on those. I'm just wondering what vintage this is. Early mid-60s maybe? Made in Great Britain. You don't see any date stamps anywhere. Oh, I missed some. There's some grease on the bottom here, so I'm going to clean that off too. Fader lube. Boring, I know. So you get the point. I'm going to continue cleaning these. Going to take care of this grease here. Put it back together and then we'll see how it sounds. Then, well, I'm also going to seat the tube. So I'll seat the tube and kind of, you know, move it up and down a couple times. See if that frees up anything. So I'll come back when everything's put back together. Okay, it's all put back together. I have not fixed the volume knob yet. I just want to see where we're at. Probably be super glue, baking soda. If I can find my super glue, I put it somewhere and I don't know where, but where in the heck I put it? Oh, it was hidden behind my 3-in-1 oil bottle. Probably need that. All right, so let's see what's going on. Let me release that. That's loose. See what it sounds like. It should drop.
I knew the first day that I saw her, I'd soon be living my life for her.
Okay. Okay. Probably as good as this is going to get. Let me just let this record play. So I'm going to address this volume control knob, glue that together. I seriously doubt there's a way to adjust this drop point. And that stylus is super dirty, and man, I wouldn't play a record on this. So I'm just going to let this run while I fix this knob, see what happens with the sound. And assuming nothing else surfaces, I think I'm going to call this done for now. Kind of see what happens. So it may be done, or I may edit this out and there may be another section. But if not, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.